Hello there, and welcome to Midnight Mind. I'm so glad you found your way here. Maybe you've been feeling a bit weary today, or perhaps you simply enjoy peaceful moments of understanding. Tonight's gentle journey is for you. You've got nothing to do but rest. Let your mind soften, your breathing slow, your body sink into comfort. Tonight, we're drifting through the calm landscape of stress, discovering it's simply your body's way of caring for you. And just before we begin, consider like and subscribe to help others discover this peaceful space too. Now, let's begin. Your stress response is one of the oldest and most sophisticated survival systems in your body. It evolved over millions of years, refined through countless generations, designed with one purpose: to keep you alive. When your ancestors faced a predator or a threat, their bodies needed to respond instantly, without conscious thought, without delay. The stress response is that instant response, that lightning-fast preparation for danger. When stress activates, your body does something remarkable. Your adrenal glands release hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases to pump more blood to your muscles. Your breathing quickens to take in more oxygen. Your pupils dilate to see better. Your liver releases glucose to give you instant energy. Blood flow shifts away from your digestive system and toward your large muscle groups. Your immune system temporarily enhances. Your blood clotting ability increases in case of injury. All of this happens in seconds. All of this happens automatically. Your conscious mind doesn't have to decide to make these changes. Your body knows what to do. It has known for millions of years. This response has saved countless lives throughout human history. It has allowed humans to escape danger, to fight when necessary, to survive situations that would have been fatal without this incredible system. The problem is not that the stress response exists. The problem is that modern life triggers this ancient system with threats that aren't actually life-threatening. Your body can't distinguish between a predator and a deadline, between physical danger and social embarrassment, between a threat to your survival and a threat to your ego. The same system that would help you run from a lion activates when you're stuck in traffic or facing a difficult conversation or worrying about money. But understanding this helps. Understanding that stress is not a malfunction, not a weakness, not something wrong with you, but rather an ancient protective system doing its job. This understanding creates space for compassion. Your body is trying to help you. It's trying to protect you. It's just sometimes confused about what actually constitutes danger in the modern world. Just as your body has a system for activating stress, it has an equally sophisticated system for deactivating it. This is called the parasympathetic nervous system, and it's your body's natural relaxation response. When the threat passes, when safety is established, this system activates automatically, bringing your body back to baseline, back to calm, back to rest. Your parasympathetic nervous system does the opposite of what stress does. It slows your heart rate. It deepens your breathing. It promotes digestion. It relaxes your muscles. It calms your mind. It tells every system in your body that the emergency is over, that you can stop preparing for danger, that you can rest and recover and heal. This system is always available. It's always there, waiting to activate. The challenge is that chronic stress, constant low-level activation of the stress response, can make it harder for the relaxation response to engage. When you never fully come down from stress, when you're always slightly activated, always slightly tense, always slightly on guard, your parasympathetic system doesn't get the clear signal that it's safe to fully relax. But you can help this system activate. You can give your body the signals it needs to shift from stress to relaxation. Slow, deep breathing is one of the most powerful signals. When you breathe slowly and deeply, especially emphasizing the exhale, you directly activate your parasympathetic nervous system. Your body interprets slow breathing as a sign of safety. If you were truly in danger, you would be breathing quickly. Slow breathing tells your body that you're safe, that you can relax. Other signals include gentle movement, warm temperatures, soft textures, calming sounds, the presence of safe people, and time in nature. These signals accumulate. One signal might not be enough to shift your nervous system, but multiple signals together create a clear message. You are safe, you can relax, the stress response can turn off now. When you experience stress, your body floods with stress hormones, particularly cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones create the physical sensations of stress, the racing heart, the tense muscles, the alert mind. But these hormones don't last forever. They have what's called a half-life, which means they break down and are cleared from your body over time. Adrenaline has a very short half-life, only a few minutes. This is why the intense, acute feeling of panic or fear doesn't last very long. Even if you do nothing, even if you just wait, the adrenaline will naturally decrease. Within minutes, the most intense physical symptoms will begin to ease, simply because the hormone that created them is being metabolized and eliminated. Cortisol has a longer half-life, around 60 to 90 minutes. This means that even after a stressful event ends, you might continue to feel activated, tense, on edge for an hour or more. This is not because you're doing something wrong or because you can't let go. This is simply because cortisol is still in your system, still circulating, still affecting your body. But it too will decrease. It too will be metabolized. It too will clear from your system, allowing you to return to baseline. Understanding this is deeply comforting. It means that the physical sensations of stress are temporary by design. Your body is not capable of maintaining peak stress indefinitely. The hormones that create stress sensations are designed to spike and then decrease. Even if you do nothing, even if you just wait, the stress will naturally begin to diminish as the hormones are cleared from your system. This is why sometimes the best thing you can do with stress is simply wait it out. Not fight it, not try to make it go away immediately, but just acknowledge that it's there and trust that it will naturally decrease. Like a wave that rises and then falls, like a storm that intensifies and then passes, stress hormones rise and then naturally decline. You don't have to make this happen. You only have to allow it to happen. Of all the automatic functions in your body, breathing is unique. It happens automatically, without conscious thought, controlled by your brainstem. But unlike your heartbeat or your digestion, you can also control your breathing consciously. You can choose to breathe faster or slower, deeper or shallower. This makes breathing a bridge between your conscious mind and your automatic nervous system. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow. You breathe from your chest rather than your belly. You might even hold your breath without realizing it. This breathing pattern is part of the stress response, designed to take in oxygen quickly for fight or flight. But this breathing pattern also reinforces stress. Rapid, shallow breathing sends signals to your brain that you're in danger, which maintains the stress response. But you can use breathing to send different signals. When you deliberately slow your breathing, when you breathe deeply from your belly, when you make your exhales longer than your inhales, you send powerful signals to your nervous system that you're safe. You activate your parasympathetic nervous system. You trigger the relaxation response. You literally change your body's state through nothing but breath. This is not metaphorical. This is not positive thinking. This is direct physiological influence. Your breath affects your heart rate through something called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. When you inhale, your heart rate increases slightly. When you exhale, your heart rate decreases slightly. When you make your exhales long and slow, you increase the amount of time your heart rate is decreasing, which signals safety to your entire nervous system. You don't need any tools or techniques or special training. You just need to breathe slowly and deeply, emphasizing the exhale. Breathe in for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 6 or 8. Do this for just a few minutes, and you'll notice your body beginning to calm, your shoulders dropping, your jaw unclenching, your mind clearing. This is your breath acting as a remote control, switching your nervous system from stress to relaxation. There's a concept in exercise science called hormesis. It's the idea that mild stress actually makes you stronger. When you lift weights, you create tiny tears in your muscle fibers. This is a form of stress, but during rest, your body repairs those tears and makes the muscles slightly stronger than before. The stress plus the rest equals growth. This principle applies to psychological stress too. Challenging experiences, difficult situations, moments when you have to stretch beyond your comfort zone, these create a kind of stress. But when you have adequate recovery, when you have time to rest and process and integrate, these stressful experiences can make you more resilient, more capable, more confident. The stress itself doesn't make you stronger. The stress plus the recovery makes you stronger. This is why chronic stress is so damaging. It's not the stress itself that breaks you down. It's stress without recovery. It's activation without rest. It's challenge without restoration. When you're constantly stressed, when you never fully come down from activation, when you never give your body and mind time to recover, you don't get the growth benefit. You only get the breakdown. Your body needs both stress and rest to thrive. Just like muscles need both challenge and recovery to grow stronger, your nervous system needs both activation and relaxation to develop resilience. The problem in modern life is not that we experience stress. The problem is that we don't experience enough rest. We don't give our bodies the recovery time they need to adapt to the stress, to integrate it, to grow from it. This means that rest is not weakness. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not wasted time. Rest is when growth happens. Rest is when your body repairs itself, when your mind processes experiences, when resilience is built. Without rest, stress is just damage. With rest, stress becomes the stimulus for growth. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is what makes productivity sustainable. When you experience stress, especially if you can't respond to it in the moment, your body stores that stress. It holds tension in your muscles, particularly in your shoulders, neck, jaw, and hips. It holds activation in your nervous system, keeping you slightly on alert even when the stressful situation has passed. This stored stress can accumulate over time, creating chronic tension, chronic activation, chronic discomfort. But your body also has natural ways of releasing stored stress. Have you ever noticed that after a stressful event, you might suddenly feel the urge to cry, or laugh, or shake, or take a deep breath? These are not random responses. These are your body's natural stress release mechanisms activating. Crying releases stress hormones through tears. Laughing releases tension through the diaphragm. Shaking discharges activation from the nervous system. Deep breathing signals safety and promotes relaxation. Animals demonstrate this beautifully. If you watch an animal after it escapes from danger, after the threat has passed, you'll often see it shake. The animal's whole body trembles for a few moments, and then it stops, and the animal goes back to grazing or resting, as if nothing happened. That shaking is the animal's nervous system, discharging the stress activation, releasing the energy that was mobilized for fight or flight, but wasn't used. Humans have this same capacity, but we often suppress it. We think we shouldn't cry, that crying is weakness. We think we shouldn't shake, that shaking means something is wrong. We think we need to hold it together, stay composed, not let the stress show. And in suppressing these natural release mechanisms, we keep the stress stored in our bodies, where it accumulates and creates problems. Allowing your body to release stress naturally is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. If you feel like crying, let yourself cry. If you feel like shaking, let yourself shake. If you feel like taking a huge deep breath or sighing heavily, do it. These are not signs of weakness or breakdown. These are signs of your body doing exactly what it's designed to do, releasing what it no longer needs to hold, returning to baseline. When you feel stressed, it's easy to believe that the stress is telling you something true about reality. Your racing heart feels like evidence that something terrible is happening. Your tight chest feels like proof that you're in danger. Your racing thoughts feel like they're identifying real threats that need immediate attention. But stress is not objective reality. Stress is your body's interpretation of reality, filtered through your past experiences, your current state, and your nervous system's sensitivity. Stress is information. It's your body saying, "I'm perceiving something as a threat." But perception is not always accurate. Your body might be perceiving threat when there is no actual danger. Your nervous system might be activated because something in the present reminds you of something dangerous in the past, even though the present situation is actually safe. Your stress response might be firing because you're tired, hungry, overwhelmed, or already activated by previous stressors. Understanding that stress is information rather than a command gives you choice. You don't have to automatically believe what your stress is telling you. You don't have to immediately act on the urgency you feel. You can pause. You can check in with reality. You can ask yourself, is there actual danger right now, in this moment? Or is my body reacting to a perceived threat, a remembered threat, or a hypothetical future threat? Often, when you check, you'll find that there's no immediate danger. There might be challenges, difficulties, things you need to deal with. But actual, immediate physical danger is rare in modern life. Most of what triggers our stress response is not life-threatening. It's uncomfortable, yes. It's challenging, yes. But it's not actually dangerous. And recognizing this difference helps your nervous system begin to calm. You can thank your body for the information. You can acknowledge that your stress response is trying to help, trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. And then you can gently let your body know that you're actually okay, that there's no immediate danger, that it can relax. This isn't suppressing the stress or pretending it's not there. This is working with your body, helping it recalibrate, giving it updated information about your actual level of safety. What's stressful for one person might not be stressful for another. What overwhelms you might not bother someone else, and what overwhelms them might not bother you. This is not because some people are stronger or weaker. This is because stress is not just about the external situation. It's about the interaction between the situation and your unique nervous system, shaped by your genetics, your history, your current resources, and countless other factors. Your stress threshold, the amount of stress you can handle before becoming overwhelmed, varies based on many things. If you're well-rested, well-nourished, feeling supported, and generally in a good place, your stress threshold is higher. You can handle more before you tip into overwhelm. But if you're exhausted, undernourished, isolated, or already dealing with multiple stressors, your threshold is lower. Things that normally wouldn't bother you might suddenly feel overwhelming. This is why you might handle something well one day and poorly another day, even though the situation is the same. It's not that you've gotten weaker or lost your ability to cope. It's that your available resources have changed. Your capacity fluctuates based on your state, and that's completely normal. You're not a machine that should perform consistently regardless of conditions. You're a living system that responds to the totality of your circumstances. Understanding this helps you be more compassionate with yourself. When you're struggling with something that you feel you should be able to handle, when you're overwhelmed by something that doesn't seem that big, you can recognize that this isn't a character flaw. This is your nervous system, operating with the resources currently available to it. You're not failing. You're responding to your actual capacity in this moment, which is affected by factors you might not even be fully aware of. It also helps you be more compassionate with others. When someone is stressed by something that doesn't seem stressful to you, they're not being dramatic or weak. They're having a genuine stress response based on their unique nervous system and circumstances. Everyone's stress is valid, even when you don't understand it, even when it doesn't match your own experience. Your body has a set point, a state of balance called homeostasis. When stress pushes you away from this balance, your body immediately begins working to return you to it. This is not something you have to make happen. This is automatic, built into every system in your body. Your body is always trying to return to balance. When your heart rate increases from stress, your body is already working to bring it back down. When your muscles tense, your body is already trying to release that tension. When stress hormones flood your system, your body is already metabolizing them, clearing them, bringing their levels back to baseline. This return to balance is not something you have to force or control. It's happening naturally, constantly, as long as you allow it. The problem is that we often interfere with this natural return to balance. We stay in stressful situations longer than necessary. We ruminate on stressful thoughts, re-triggering the stress response over and over. We don't give our bodies the rest they need to complete the return to baseline. We add stress on top of stress before the first stress has been processed. We override our body's signals that we need to slow down, rest, recover. But even with all this interference, your body never stops trying to return to balance. It never gives up. It's always working toward homeostasis, always trying to bring you back to calm, back to rest, back to your natural state. This is one of the most fundamental drives in your body, as basic as hunger or thirst. Your body wants to be balanced. It's designed to be balanced. And it will keep working toward that balance as long as you're alive. You can support this natural process. You can remove yourself from stressful situations when possible. You can stop ruminating on stressful thoughts. You can give your body the rest it's asking for. You can provide the conditions that allow the return to balance to happen more easily and more completely. But you don't have to make the return happen. You only have to allow it, to stop interfering with it, to trust that your body knows how to find its way back to balance. No stress response is meant to last forever. The entire system is designed for temporary activation. Stress is supposed to spike quickly, help you deal with the threat, and then decrease quickly once the threat has passed. This is how the system worked for millions of years. Our ancestors would face a danger, respond to it, and then return to calm. The stress was intense, but brief. Modern life has created a different pattern. We face ongoing stressors that don't resolve quickly, financial stress that lasts for months, work stress that continues day after day, relationship stress that persists without resolution. These chronic stressors keep the stress response partially activated all the time. It's like having your foot on the gas pedal constantly, never fully taking it off, never fully resting. But even chronic stress is made up of individual moments of stress. Each worry is a separate activation. Each tension is a separate response. And each of these individual activations is temporary. The worry you had an hour ago is not the same worry you have now, even if they're about the same topic. Each is a new activation, a new moment of stress, and each moment of stress is designed to be temporary. This means that even in the midst of chronic stress, there are moments of less stress, moments of relative calm, moments when the activation decreases slightly. These moments are opportunities. Opportunities to breathe, to rest, to allow your body to return toward balance, even if it can't reach full balance. These small moments of relief accumulate. They matter. They give your body brief respites, brief chances to recover partially, to prevent the stress from being completely constant. You can also remind yourself, in moments of acute stress, that this feeling is temporary. The intensity you're experiencing right now will not last at this level. The stress hormones will metabolize. Your body will begin returning to balance. Even if the situation causing the stress continues, the peak intensity of your body's response will decrease. This is not wishful thinking. This is biological fact. Stress responses are designed to be temporary. Your body cannot maintain peak activation indefinitely. The intensity will decrease, whether you do anything or not. There's a phenomenon that happens with stress and tension. Often, right before a release, there's an intensification. The tension gets worse before it gets better. The anxiety spikes before it calms. This can be frightening when you're in it, because it feels like things are getting worse, like you're losing control, like the stress is overwhelming you. But often, this intensification is actually a sign that release is coming. Think about crying. Often, right before you finally let yourself cry, there's a moment of intense pressure, intense emotion, a feeling of barely holding it together, and then the tears come, and there's relief. The intensification was the build-up before the release. It wasn't things getting worse. It was the system preparing to let go. The same thing happens with muscle tension. If you've ever had a massage, you know that sometimes when the therapist works on a particularly tight spot, it hurts more before it releases. The pressure on the tension creates an intensification of sensation, but then the muscle lets go, and there's relief. The increased pain wasn't damage. It was the precursor to release. This happens with stress too. Sometimes stress intensifies right before your body finally lets it go. You might have a moment of panic, a surge of anxiety, a spike of tension. And if you can breathe through it, if you can allow it without fighting it, it often passes quickly, leaving you calmer than you were before the spike. The intensification was not a setback. It was part of the release process. Understanding this can help you not panic when stress intensifies. Instead of thinking, "Oh no, it's getting worse, I can't handle this," you can think, "This might be the peak before the release. Let me just breathe through this moment." And often, just having that perspective, just knowing that intensification can precede release, helps you stay calmer through the spike, which allows the release to happen more easily. This is an important distinction. Your stress response was designed for survival situations, life or death situations, situations where the only thing that matters is getting through the next few minutes alive. In those situations, the stress response is perfect. It gives you exactly what you need: quick energy, sharp focus, fast reflexes, maximum physical capability. But most of modern life is not about survival. It's about thriving. It's about relationships, creativity, learning, growth, connection, meaning. And the stress response, while excellent for survival, actually interferes with thriving. When you're in stress mode, your body deprioritizes everything that's not immediately necessary for survival. Digestion slows, immune function decreases, creativity shuts down, emotional processing pauses, connection feels less important. This is why you can't think clearly when you're stressed. This is why you can't be creative when you're anxious. This is why you struggle to connect with others when you're overwhelmed. Your stress response is doing its job, focusing all your resources on immediate survival. But that means there are no resources available for the things that make life rich and meaningful. Understanding this helps you recognize when your stress response is activated inappropriately. If you're trying to be creative, to connect with someone, to learn something new, and you notice you're stressed, you can recognize that the stress is interfering. It's not helping you in this situation. It's designed for a different kind of situation. And you can work on calming your stress response so that you have access to the parts of your brain and body that are actually useful for what you're trying to do. This also helps you be more compassionate with yourself. When you can't perform well under stress, you're not failing. Your stress response is just doing what it's designed to do, which is prioritize survival over everything else. You can't force yourself to be creative or connected or thoughtful when your body is in survival mode. You first need to help your body understand that you're safe, that survival is not in question, that it can shift out of stress mode and into a state that supports thriving. One of the most damaging beliefs in modern culture is that rest must be earned through productivity, that you're only allowed to rest after you've worked hard enough, achieved enough, done enough. This belief keeps people in chronic stress, always pushing, always doing, never fully resting because they never feel they've done enough to deserve it. But rest is not a reward for productivity. Rest is a biological necessity. Your body needs rest to function, just like it needs food and water and air. You don't have to earn the right to breathe. You don't have to achieve something before you're allowed to eat, and you don't have to be productive before you're allowed to rest. Rest is a requirement for life, not a luxury you access through achievement. In fact, rest is what makes productivity possible. Without adequate rest, your productivity decreases, your creativity suffers, your decision-making becomes impaired, your emotional regulation falters, you make more mistakes, you work less efficiently. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is the foundation of sustainable productivity. When you're stressed, you need more rest, not less. Stress depletes your resources. It uses up energy, attention, emotional capacity. You need time to replenish those resources, and that replenishment happens during rest. If you respond to stress by pushing harder, by resting less, by demanding more of yourself, you're just depleting yourself further. You're making the stress worse. You are allowed to rest, right now, even if you haven't finished everything, even if there's more to do, even if you don't feel you've earned it. You are allowed to rest because you're a living being who needs rest to survive. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. This is basic self-care. This is honoring your body's needs. This is treating yourself with the same care you would treat any living thing that depends on you. This is a physiological truth. The stress response and the relaxation response are mutually exclusive. You cannot be in both states simultaneously. When your body is truly relaxed, when your parasympathetic nervous system is fully activated, stress cannot exist. The two states are incompatible. This means that if you can get your body to relax, your mind will follow. You don't have to think your way out of stress. You don't have to figure out solutions or change your circumstances or resolve the problems causing the stress. If you can simply get your body into a state of relaxation, the stress will naturally decrease because it cannot coexist with deep relaxation. This is why physical relaxation practices are so effective for stress. Progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and then release each muscle group. Gentle stretching, warm baths, massage. These practices work directly on your body, creating the physical state of relaxation that then signals to your brain that you're safe, that the stress response can turn off. Your body is the entry point. When you're stressed, your mind is often racing, caught in loops of worry or problem solving. Trying to calm your mind directly can be difficult. But you can always access your body. You can always take a breath. You can always relax a muscle. And when you work with your body, when you create physical relaxation, your mind naturally begins to calm as well. This is why tonight, as you rest, as you allow your body to settle into whatever surface supports you, you're not just resting, you're actively reducing stress. Every muscle that releases its tension, every breath that deepens and slows, every moment of physical relaxation is a moment when stress cannot exist. Your body is doing the work of releasing stress simply by relaxing. You don't have to do anything else. Just allow your body to be as relaxed as possible, and the stress will naturally decrease. When you're experiencing stress, it can feel all-consuming. It can feel like stress is all you are, like it's taken over your entire being, like you've become the stress. But this is not true. You are not your stress. You are the one experiencing stress. There's a you that exists, separate from the stress, observing it, feeling it, but not defined by it. Think of stress like weather. When it's raining, the rain is happening, but you are not the rain. You're experiencing the rain. You're affected by the rain, but you remain separate from it. The rain is a temporary condition passing through, and you are the constant presence that experiences it. Stress is the same. It's a temporary condition passing through your experience. It's not your identity. It's not your essence. It's something you're experiencing, not something you are. This distinction is important because it creates space. When you believe you are your stress, there's no room for anything else. But when you recognize that you are the one experiencing stress, suddenly there's space around the stress. There's a you that's larger than the stress, that contains the stress but is not limited to it. And in that space, there's room for perspective, for choice, for the possibility that the stress might change without you having to change who you fundamentally are. You are the awareness that notices, I'm feeling stressed right now. That awareness, that noticing, that's who you actually are. The stress is something happening within your awareness, but it's not the awareness itself. The awareness remains calm, steady, unchanging, even when what it's aware of is turbulent. You can rest in that awareness. You can identify with that awareness, rather than with the stress. This doesn't make the stress go away immediately, but it changes your relationship with it. Instead of being overwhelmed by stress, you're aware of stress. Instead of being controlled by stress, you're experiencing stress. And that shift, subtle as it is, makes an enormous difference. It reminds you that you're larger than any temporary state, that you're the constant presence beneath all changing experiences, that stress is something moving through you, not something that defines you. While stress is uncomfortable, it carries information. It shows you what you care about. You don't feel stressed about things that don't matter to you. You feel stressed about things that are important, that you're invested in, that you care about. Your stress is actually pointing to your values, to what you love, to what matters most in your life. If you're stressed about a relationship, it's because that relationship matters to you. If you're stressed about your work, it's because you care about doing well, about contributing, about the outcomes. If you're stressed about the future, it's because you have hopes and dreams and desires for how things might unfold. The stress itself is uncomfortable, but underneath it is something beautiful: care, investment, love. This doesn't mean you should be grateful for stress, or that stress is good, but it does mean that stress is not meaningless. It's not random. It's connected to what's important to you. And sometimes, recognizing this can help you relate to your stress differently. Instead of seeing it as pure negative, as something wrong with you, you can see it as a signal of your values, of what you love, of what you're committed to. You can also use this information. When you notice what you're stressed about, you're learning about yourself. You're learning what matters to you, what you care about, what you want to protect or achieve or maintain. This self-knowledge is valuable. It helps you make decisions. It helps you prioritize. It helps you understand yourself more deeply. And sometimes, recognizing what you're stressed about helps you realize that something doesn't actually matter as much as you thought. Sometimes, stress reveals that you're investing energy in something that's not truly important to you, that you're caring about something because you think you should, not because you genuinely do. And that recognition gives you permission to let go, to stop investing in that thing, to redirect your energy toward what truly matters. Just as your nervous system can become sensitized to threat, learning to respond with stress more easily and more quickly, it can also become sensitized to safety. Every time you experience genuine safety, every time your body successfully calms from stress, every time you move from activation to relaxation, your nervous system learns. It creates a memory of safety. It builds a pathway to calm. The more often you experience this shift from stress to calm, the easier it becomes. The pathways get stronger. Your nervous system learns that it's possible to calm down, that stress doesn't last forever, that you can return to balance. This is called building resilience, and it happens through repeated experiences of stress followed by recovery. This is why practices like meditation, deep breathing, or progressive relaxation are so valuable, even if they don't seem to do much at first. Every time you practice, even if you don't feel dramatically different, you're teaching your nervous system. You're creating memories of calm. You're building pathways to relaxation. Over time, these pathways become stronger, more accessible, easier to activate. Your nervous system also remembers specific situations or conditions that have been associated with safety in the past. Maybe there's a place where you always feel calm. Maybe there's a person whose presence always helps you relax. Maybe there's an activity that consistently reduces your stress. These become anchors, reliable ways to help your nervous system shift toward safety. Your body remembers, this place is safe, this person is safe, this activity leads to calm. And that memory helps you access those states more easily. You can intentionally create these memories. You can pair relaxation practices with specific cues, a certain scent, a certain piece of music, a certain physical position. Over time, those cues themselves become triggers for relaxation. Your nervous system learns the association, and eventually, just encountering the cue helps you feel calmer. You're training your nervous system, teaching it new patterns, building memories of safety that you can access whenever you need them. This needs to be said clearly and repeatedly because the message in our culture is often the opposite. We're taught that stress means you can't handle things, that anxiety means you're not strong enough, that being overwhelmed means you're failing. But this is completely wrong. Stress is not a character flaw. It's a biological response. It's your body doing what it's designed to do. Strong people feel stress. Capable people feel stress. Successful people feel stress. Stress is not correlated with weakness. If anything, it's often correlated with caring deeply, with taking on responsibility, with pushing yourself to grow. The people who never feel stress are often the people who never challenge themselves, who never take risks, who never care deeply enough about anything to feel stressed about it. Feeling stressed doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you're human. It means you're alive. It means you're engaged with life in a way that creates challenges and demands. It means you care about things. These are not weaknesses. These are signs of a full, engaged, meaningful life. What matters is not whether you feel stress, but how you relate to it. Do you judge yourself for feeling it? Do you shame yourself? Do you see it as evidence of your inadequacy? Or do you recognize it as a normal human experience? Something everyone feels, something that doesn't say anything negative about who you are. The stress itself is neutral. Your relationship with it determines whether it becomes a problem. You can feel stressed and still be strong. You can feel anxious and still be capable. You can feel overwhelmed and still be doing your best. These things are not contradictory. They're the reality of being human, of having a sensitive nervous system that responds to challenges, of caring about outcomes. Your stress doesn't diminish your strength. It's simply part of your experience, part of being alive, part of being someone who engages fully with the complexity of existence. When you're stressed, your mind often travels to the future. You think about everything you have to do, all the challenges ahead, all the potential problems that might arise. You try to handle the future in your mind right now, and this creates enormous stress because you're trying to carry the weight of countless future moments all at once. But you can't actually handle the future. The future doesn't exist yet. It's not here. The only moment that actually exists, the only moment you can actually handle, is this one. Right now. This present moment. And this present moment, just this one moment, is almost always manageable. It's the accumulation of all the future moments that feels overwhelming. Try this. Check in with right now. Not in 5 minutes. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. In this exact moment. Are you okay? Are you breathing? Are you safe? Usually, the answer is yes. Right now, in this immediate present moment, you're okay. You might not be comfortable. You might be feeling stress. But you're here. You're breathing. You're managing this one moment. This is all you ever have to do. Handle this moment. And then the next moment when it arrives. And then the next. You don't have to handle all the moments at once. You don't have to figure out how you'll manage everything that's coming. You only have to be here, now, in this moment, dealing with what's actually in front of you, rather than what might be in front of you later. This is not avoidance. This is not pretending the future doesn't matter. This is recognizing that you can only live in the present moment, and that the present moment is almost always more manageable than your thoughts about the future. When the future becomes the present, you'll handle it. You'll have the resources you need in that moment. But right now, you only need to handle now, and now is almost always okay. Just like your body naturally works to return to balance, it naturally works toward healing. This is true for physical wounds and for the effects of stress. Your body doesn't want to stay stressed. It doesn't want to remain in a state of tension and activation. It wants to heal, to recover, to return to its natural state of ease. Every system in your body is oriented toward health. Your immune system fights infections. Your skin heals cuts. Your bones knit back together after breaks. Your nervous system works to process and integrate stressful experiences. This drive toward healing is fundamental. It's built into the very nature of living systems. Life moves toward wholeness, toward balance, toward health. You don't have to make healing happen. You don't have to force it or control it. Healing happens on its own when you provide the right conditions. For physical wounds, those conditions include cleanliness, protection, adequate nutrition, and rest. For stress and emotional wounds, the conditions include safety, rest, support, and time. When these conditions are present, healing happens naturally. Your job is not to heal yourself through effort or willpower. Your job is to create the conditions that allow healing to happen, to remove obstacles to healing, to provide what your body needs, to stop doing things that interfere with the natural healing process. When you do this, your body takes care of the rest. It knows how to heal. It's been healing itself your entire life. You can trust this process. This means that healing from stress is not something you have to achieve. It's something you allow. You allow your body to rest. You allow yourself to feel what you feel. You allow time to pass without demanding immediate resolution. You allow the natural processes of recovery and integration to unfold in their own time. And in that, allowing, healing happens. Not because you made it happen, but because your body is always working toward health. And right now, you can let yourself rest. This is the invitation. This is the permission. This is the gift that this moment offers. Right now, you can let yourself rest. You can let your body sink into whatever supports it. You can let your muscles release their tension. You can let your breathing slow and deepen. You can let your mind become quiet, or at least quieter. You can rest. Rest is not giving up. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not wasting time. Rest is how your body processes stress. Rest is how your nervous system returns to balance. Rest is how healing happens. Rest is one of the most important things you can do for yourself, especially when you're stressed, especially when you're overwhelmed, especially when you feel like you can't afford to rest. You can rest even if everything isn't resolved. You can rest even if there are still problems to solve. You can rest even if you haven't finished everything you wanted to finish today. You can rest because rest itself is valuable, because rest itself is necessary, because rest itself is healing. The problems will still be there tomorrow, but you'll be more resourced to handle them if you rest tonight. Right now, in this moment, there is nothing you have to do, nothing you have to figure out, nothing you have to fix. You can simply be here, breathing, resting, allowing your body to do what it knows how to do. You can trust that your body is working toward balance, toward calm, toward healing. You can trust that stress is temporary, that it will pass, that you will return to ease. You can let go of the day, let go of the stress, let go of the tension, let go of the worry, just for now, just for these hours of rest. Everything can wait. Everything will still be there if it needs to be, but right now, you can rest. You can let yourself rest. You can trust that rest is exactly what you need, exactly what your body is asking for, exactly what will help you heal. We've traveled through the landscape of stress together tonight. We've learned that stress is not designed to hurt you, that it's an ancient protective system trying to keep you safe. We've discovered that your body knows how to turn off stress, that stress hormones have a half-life, that your breath is a remote control for your nervous system. We've understood that stress is temporary by design, that it's information rather than command, that it affects everyone differently. We've learned that your body is always trying to return to balance, that stress can make you stronger but only with rest, that your body stores stress and releases it naturally. We've discovered that stress cannot exist in a truly relaxed body, that you are not your stress, that your nervous system remembers safety. We've understood that this moment is the only moment you have to handle, that your body wants to heal, that rest is not earned but required. If you're still awake, that's perfectly fine. There's no pressure to sleep. There's no requirement to drift off immediately. You can simply let your thoughts become softer now, less defined, less urgent. You can let the information settle into your mind and body without trying to remember it all or understand it all. The parts that matter will stay with you. The rest can drift away like clouds moving across the sky. You don't have to manage your stress. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to solve any problems. You don't have to make anything happen. Your body is already working toward balance. Your nervous system is already trying to calm. The stress hormones are already being metabolized. All of this is happening automatically, naturally, without your conscious effort. You can rest now. You can let go. You can trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. You don't have to figure out why you feel stressed or how to make it go away, or what it all means. Understanding is not required. Acceptance is enough. Presence is enough. Simply being here, in this moment, allowing yourself to feel what you feel without judgment, without trying to change it, this is enough. The stress will pass in its own time. The calm will return in its own time. You don't have to understand the process. You only have to allow it. These words might feel difficult to accept. You might have a voice in your head that immediately protests, that lists all the reasons why you're not enough, all the ways you're falling short, all the things you should be doing better. That voice might be loud right now, insistent, convincing, but that voice, no matter how familiar it sounds, is not telling you the truth. That voice is fear speaking. That voice is the internalized criticism of a world that profits from your insecurity, that benefits when you believe you're inadequate, that wants you to keep striving and struggling and never quite arriving at enough. But the deeper truth, the truth that exists beneath all that noise, is simpler and kinder, and more fundamental than any criticism could ever be. You are enough. Not someday, not when you fix yourself, not when you achieve something, or overcome something, or become someone different. Right now, in this exact moment, exactly as you are, with everything you're feeling, with everything you're struggling with all your imperfections and uncertainties and fears, you are enough. This is not a reward you have to earn. This is not a status you achieve through accomplishment. This is not conditional on your performance or your productivity, or your ability to handle stress gracefully. This is fundamental. This is who you are at your core. You are enough because you exist. You are enough because you're here. You are enough because you're a living being. And all living beings have inherent worth that doesn't need to be justified or proven or earned. Think about a tree. A tree doesn't have to earn the right to exist. A tree doesn't have to prove its worth. A tree doesn't have to accomplish anything or be anything other than what it is. A young sapling is enough. An old tree is enough. A tree in full bloom is enough. A tree that's lost its leaves is enough. A tree struggling in poor soil is enough. A tree thriving in rich earth is enough. The tree's worth is not determined by its productivity or its appearance or its stage of growth. The tree is enough simply because it exists, simply because it's alive, simply because it's part of the web of life. You are like that tree. Your worth is inherent. It's built into your existence. It doesn't fluctuate based on your circumstances or your achievements or your emotional state. You don't become more worthy when you're calm and less worthy when you're anxious. You don't become more valuable when you're productive and less valuable when you're exhausted. Your fundamental worth remains constant, unchanging, unshakable. because it's not based on anything you do or don't do. It's based on what you are, a living being, conscious and aware, part of this vast universe, worthy of existence simply because you exist. Stress does not diminish your worth. This needs to be said clearly, because there's a pervasive belief in our culture that stress is a personal failing, that being stressed means you're weak or inadequate or not handling life properly. But this belief is completely false. Stress is not a character flaw. Stress is not a sign of weakness. Stress is a biological response, an automatic activation of systems designed to help you survive. You don't choose to feel stressed any more than you choose to feel hungry or tired. Stress happens to you, not because of you. When you're stressed, you're having a normal human experience. You're responding to challenges or threats or demands in the way that humans have responded for millions of years. Your ancestors felt stress. Every person you admire has felt stress. Every strong, capable, successful person you can think of has experienced stress. Stress is not evidence of your inadequacy. It's evidence of your humanity. It's evidence that you're alive, that you're engaged with life, that you care about things enough to be affected by them. You are enough when your heart is racing. You are enough when your shoulders are tight. You are enough when your mind is spinning with worry. You are enough when you can't seem to calm down no matter what you try. The stress doesn't make you less. It doesn't reduce your value. It doesn't mean something is fundamentally wrong with you. It means you're a human being with a nervous system that responds to perceived threats, and that nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Being stressed doesn't mean you're failing at life. It doesn't mean you're not strong enough or not capable enough or not resilient enough. It means you're facing something challenging, and your body is responding to that challenge. The response itself is neutral. It's not good or bad. It's not a reflection of your character or your worth. It's just your body doing its job, activating systems that are designed to help you cope with difficulty. You don't have to be calm to be worthy. You don't have to have everything under control to be valuable. You don't have to handle stress gracefully to be enough. You can be messy and overwhelmed and barely holding it together, and you are still enough. You are still worthy. You are still deserving of compassion and care and rest. Your worth is not conditional on your ability to manage stress. Your worth exists independent of your stress level. Overwhelm is not failure. Overwhelm is what happens when the demands on your system exceed your current capacity to meet those demands. This is not a personal failing. This is a reality of being human. Everyone has a capacity, and everyone has limits to that capacity. When you reach your limit, you feel overwhelmed. This is normal. This is expected. This is part of the human experience. Your capacity is not fixed. It fluctuates based on many factors. How much sleep you've had, how well you've eaten, how much support you have, what else you're dealing with, how your nervous system is regulated, what resources are available to you. Some days your capacity is larger, some days it's smaller. This variation is normal. You're not a machine that should perform consistently regardless of conditions. You're a living system that responds to the totality of your circumstances. When you're overwhelmed, it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. It means you've reached the edge of your current capacity, and that edge is different for everyone and different for you on different days. Comparing your capacity to someone else's capacity is meaningless. You don't know what their capacity is, what resources they have, what their nervous system is like, what else they're dealing with. You only know your own experience, your own capacity, your own limits. You are enough at your limit. You are enough when you can't take on one more thing. You are enough when you need help. You are enough when you need to say no. You are enough when you need to step back or slow down or stop completely. Reaching your limit doesn't make you inadequate. It makes you human. And being human, with all the limitations that entails, is enough. You are enough even when you can't do everything. You are enough even when you have to choose what to let go of. You are enough even when you're doing your best and your best doesn't feel like enough. The feeling of overwhelm is temporary. It's intense and uncomfortable, but it's not permanent. When you're in it, it feels like it will last forever, like you'll never get through everything, like you'll always feel this way. But you won't. Overwhelm passes. Either the demands decrease, or your capacity increases, or you find ways to cope, or time simply passes and things shift. The overwhelm you're feeling right now will not last forever. It will change. It will ease. You will find your way through it, just as you've found your way through every other time you've felt overwhelmed. There's often a gap between how we think we should be handling things and how we're actually handling them. We have an image in our minds of how a capable person would respond to stress, how a strong person would manage challenges, how a together person would navigate difficulty. And then we look at how we're actually responding, and we see all the ways we fall short of that image. We see ourselves getting irritable or shutting down or avoiding or falling apart, and we judge ourselves harshly for not living up to our own expectations. But those expectations are often unrealistic. They're based on an idealized version of how stress should be handled, not on the messy reality of how real humans actually handle stress. Real humans struggle. Real humans get overwhelmed. Real humans don't always respond in the healthiest ways. Real humans make mistakes and lose their temper and avoid difficult things and cope in imperfect ways. This is not failure. This is being human. You are allowed to handle things imperfectly. You are allowed to not have the best coping strategies. You are allowed to respond to stress in ways that aren't ideal. You are allowed to be learning as you go, figuring things out, making mistakes, doing your best with the resources and knowledge you currently have. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to handle everything gracefully. You don't have to be a model of resilience and calm. You can be messy and imperfect, and still struggling to figure out what works. And you are enough. Handling things poorly doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you're fundamentally flawed. It means you're human, and humans are imperfect. We all handle things poorly sometimes. We all respond in ways we wish we hadn't. We all fall short of our own ideals. This is universal. This is part of being alive, and it doesn't diminish your worth. Your worth is not based on your performance. Your worth is inherent, unchanging, present, even when you're at your worst. You are enough when you lose your temper. You are enough when you shut down. You are enough when you avoid things you should probably face. You are enough when you cope in unhealthy ways. You are enough when you make choices you later regret. You are enough when you handle things in ways that you know aren't ideal, but are the best you can manage in the moment. All of this is part of being human. All of this is forgivable. All of this is understandable. And none of it makes you less worthy of compassion, care, and rest. This is crucial to understand, because there's an implicit message in our culture that calm people are more valuable than anxious people, that people who handle stress well are better than people who struggle with stress. But this is not true. Your worth as a human being has nothing to do with how much stress you experience or how well you manage it. A person who never feels stressed is not more valuable than a person who feels stressed frequently. A person who stays calm under pressure is not more worthy than a person who gets anxious easily. A person who handles challenges gracefully is not more deserving of respect than a person who struggles and stumbles. These are differences in temperament, in nervous system sensitivity, in life circumstances, in learned coping skills. They are not differences in fundamental human worth. Your worth is not a variable that increases when you're calm and decreases when you're stressed. Your worth is a constant. It doesn't change. It doesn't fluctuate. It's not something you can gain or lose. You were born with inherent worth, and you will die with that same inherent worth, and nothing that happens in between changes it. Not your achievements. Not your failures. Not your stress level. Not your ability to cope. Nothing. This means you don't have to earn your worth by managing stress well. You don't have to prove your value by staying calm. You don't have to justify your existence by handling everything gracefully. You are already worthy. You are already valuable. You are already enough. The stress you feel doesn't change this. The struggle you experience doesn't diminish this. Your worth is not conditional. It's absolute. Understanding this can be deeply liberating. It means you can stop trying to be calm in order to be worthy. You can stop trying to handle everything perfectly in order to be valuable. You can stop judging yourself based on your stress level. You can simply be human with all the stress and struggle that entails, and know that you are enough regardless. Your worth is secure. It's unshakable. It's not dependent on anything you do or don't do, feel or don't feel, achieve or don't achieve. Feelings are temporary. They come and go like weather. Right now you might feel anxious, but in an hour you might feel calm. Tomorrow you might feel stressed, but next week you might feel peaceful. Your feelings are constantly changing, shifting, moving through you. They are not permanent states. They are not fixed attributes of who you are. They are temporary experiences passing through your awareness. If your value changed based on your feelings, your value would be constantly fluctuating. You would be more valuable when you felt calm, and less valuable when you felt anxious. You would be worth more on good days and worth less on bad days. But this doesn't make sense. Your value as a person doesn't change from moment to moment based on your emotional state. You are the same person whether you feel calm or anxious. Your worth remains constant, even as your feelings change. Anxiety doesn't make you less valuable. Stress doesn't make you less worthy. Fear doesn't make you less deserving. These are just feelings, just temporary states, just weather moving through your inner landscape. They don't define you. They don't determine your worth. They are simply part of your current experience, and your current experience is always changing. You are valuable when you feel calm. You are equally valuable when you feel anxious. You are valuable when you feel peaceful. You are equally valuable when you feel stressed. Your value is not tied to your emotional state. Your value is tied to your existence. You are valuable because you are, not because of how you feel. This means you don't have to feel a certain way to be worthy. You don't have to achieve a particular emotional state to be valuable. You don't have to be calm, or peaceful, or relaxed to be enough. You can feel however you feel, and you are still valuable, still worthy, still enough. Your feelings are allowed to be what they are. They don't need to be different for you to be acceptable. You are acceptable with any feeling, with every feeling, with the full range of human emotional experience. Existence itself is enough. You don't need any other qualification. You don't need any additional justification. The fact that you are here, that you are alive, that you exist in this moment, this is enough. This is all the reason you need to be worthy of care, of compassion, of rest, of kindness. Think about a newborn baby. A baby doesn't have to do anything to be worthy. A baby doesn't have to achieve anything or prove anything or earn anything. A baby is worthy simply because the baby exists. We don't look at a baby and think, this baby needs to accomplish something before we'll consider it valuable. We recognize immediately and instinctively that the baby has inherent worth, that the baby deserves care and protection and love simply because the baby is alive. You are no different. You had that inherent worth when you were born, and you still have it now. Nothing you've done or failed to do has changed it. Nothing you've achieved or failed to achieve has affected it. Your worth is not something you developed over time. It's something you've always had. It's intrinsic to your existence. It's part of what you are, not something you earn or deserve or justify. You exist, therefore you are worthy. It's that simple. This worth is not dependent on your productivity. You don't have to produce things or accomplish things or contribute things to be worthy. You are not valuable because of what you do. You are valuable because of what you are. A person who is unable to work is just as valuable as a person who is highly productive. A person who is severely disabled is just as worthy as a person who is fully capable. A person who is struggling is just as deserving of care as a person who is thriving. Worth is not earned. Worth is inherent. You showed up. You're here. You're present in this moment, in this life, in this experience. That's enough. You don't have to do anything more than be here. You don't have to prove that you deserve to be here. You don't have to justify your presence. You're here, and that's enough. Being here is not always easy. Sometimes just existing takes enormous effort. Sometimes just getting through the day is an achievement. Sometimes just surviving is all you can manage. And that's okay. That's enough. You don't have to do more than survive. You don't have to thrive to be worthy. You don't have to flourish to be valuable. You can simply be here, simply exist, simply survive. And that is enough. There are days when being here is hard, days when you're not sure you want to be here, days when the weight of existence feels too heavy, days when you're just going through the motions, just putting one foot in front of the other, just barely holding on. And even on those days, especially on those days, you are enough. Your struggle doesn't diminish your worth. Your difficulty doesn't make you less valuable. You are enough even when being here is hard, even when you're not sure you can keep going, even when you're just barely making it through. All living beings deserve care. All living beings deserve compassion. This is not something that has to be earned or justified. This is a basic truth. A bird deserves care. A tree deserves care. An animal deserves care. And so do you. You are a living being. And living beings are worthy of care simply because they're alive. Compassion is not something you have to deserve. Compassion is something you're entitled to simply because you exist. Simply because you're capable of suffering. Simply because you're a conscious being navigating the challenges of existence. You don't have to be perfect to deserve compassion. You don't have to be handling everything well to deserve care. You deserve compassion simply because you're here, because you're alive, because you're experiencing the difficulty of being human. This includes self-compassion. You are worthy of your own compassion. You are worthy of your own care. You are worthy of treating yourself with kindness, with gentleness, with understanding. You don't have to be hard on yourself. You don't have to be critical or demanding or harsh. You can be compassionate with yourself, caring toward yourself, kind to yourself. You deserve this from yourself just as much as you deserve it from others. Care is not a luxury. Care is not something you access only after you've earned it through achievement or good behavior. Care is a basic need, and you are worthy of having your needs met. You are worthy of rest when you're tired. You are worthy of comfort when you're distressed. You are worthy of support when you're struggling. You are worthy of kindness when you're suffering. You are worthy of all of this simply because you're a living being, and living beings deserve care. You don't have to edit your feelings. You don't have to present only the acceptable emotions and hide the rest. You don't have to pretend to feel differently than you actually feel. You are enough with the full range of your emotional experience, with every feeling you have, with all the complexity and messiness and intensity of your inner life. Your feelings are part of you, but they are not all of you. You are larger than any single feeling. You are the one experiencing the feelings, and that experiencer, that awareness, that essential you, is always enough regardless of what feelings are passing through. You can feel anything, everything, and still be enough. The feelings don't change your fundamental worth. This means you don't have to feel only positive emotions to be acceptable. You don't have to be happy or peaceful or content to be worthy. You can feel sad, angry, afraid, anxious, overwhelmed, frustrated, disappointed, discouraged, any emotion at all, and you are still enough. Difficult emotions don't make you less. Uncomfortable feelings don't diminish your worth. You are enough with all of it. Your experiences don't determine your worth. What's happening to you, what you're going through, what challenges you're facing, none of this changes your fundamental value. You are enough when life is easy, and you are equally enough when life is hard. You are enough when things are going well, and you are equally enough when everything seems to be falling apart. You might be experiencing stress, difficulty, loss, pain, uncertainty, fear. You might be going through something incredibly challenging. You might be in the middle of the hardest period of your life. And you are still enough. The difficulty doesn't diminish you. The challenge doesn't make you less. You are enough in the midst of whatever you're experiencing, not despite it, not when you get through it, but right now, in the middle of it. Your experiences are part of your journey, but they are not the measure of your worth. You are not more valuable when you're experiencing good things, and less valuable when you're experiencing difficult things. Your worth is constant across all experiences. You are enough in joy and in sorrow. You are enough in success and in failure. You are enough in ease and in struggle. Always, in every circumstance, in every experience, you are enough. You don't have to be at a certain point in your journey to be worthy. You don't have to have reached a particular destination. You don't have to have achieved a specific level of growth or healing or development. You are enough, wherever you are right now, at this exact point in your journey, regardless of where you think you should be or where others are or where you hope to be someday. Your journey is your own. It unfolds at its own pace. It follows its own path. It has its own timeline. You are not behind. You are not falling short. You are exactly where you are, and where you are is exactly where you need to be in this moment. You are enough at the beginning of your journey. You are enough in the middle. You are enough when you feel stuck. You are enough when you're making progress. You are enough at every single point along the way. Comparing your journey to someone else's journey is meaningless. You don't know where they started. You don't know what resources they have. You don't know what their path looks like or where it's leading. You only know your own journey, your own starting point, your own path, your own pace. And your journey is valid exactly as it is. You are enough wherever you are on this path, not when you reach some future destination, but now, here, at this point. This bears repeating because it's so important and so often forgotten. You are enough with all that you feel, every emotion, every sensation, every experience in your body and mind, all of it. You don't have to sort through your feelings and keep only the acceptable ones. You don't have to hide or suppress or deny any part of your emotional experience. You are enough with all of it. Right now, you might be holding tension in your shoulders. Maybe they're pulled up toward your ears. Maybe they're tight and knotted. Maybe there's a band of tension across your upper back. This tension is not a personal failing. This tension is your body responding to stress, to difficulty, to the demands of life. Your body is trying to protect you, trying to hold you together, trying to manage what you're experiencing. You are enough with this tension. You don't have to release it before you're worthy. You don't have to fix it before you're acceptable. The tension is simply there, part of your current physical experience, and you are enough with it. You can acknowledge it without judgment. You can notice it without criticism. You can feel it without shame. The tension is information. It's your body telling you something. It's saying, I'm holding stress. I'm carrying a load. I'm working hard to manage what's happening. This is not bad. This is not wrong. This is your body doing its job. And you are enough even while your body is working this hard, even while you're carrying this tension, even while your shoulders are tight and uncomfortable. You can invite the tension to release if it's ready. You can take a breath and imagine your shoulders softening, dropping, letting go. But you don't have to force it. You don't have to make it happen. The tension will release when it's ready. When your body feels safe enough to let go. When the stress has passed enough that your body no longer needs to hold you so tightly. And until then, you are enough with the tension exactly as it is. Your heart might be beating faster than usual. You might feel it pounding in your chest, hear it pulsing in your ears, sense its rapid rhythm through your whole body. This racing heart is not a malfunction. This is your heart responding to signals from your nervous system, pumping faster to deliver more blood, more oxygen, more resources to help you cope with whatever your body perceives as a challenge or threat. You are enough with this racing heart. You don't have to calm it down before you're worthy. You don't have to slow it before you're acceptable. Your heart is doing what hearts do when the body is activated, when the stress response is engaged, when the nervous system is signaling alert. This is normal. This is natural. This is your body working exactly as it's designed to work. The racing heart is temporary. Hearts don't race forever. The rate will come down when the stress response deactivates, when your nervous system signals safety, when your body no longer perceives a need for heightened activation. This will happen naturally, automatically, without you having to force it. Your heart knows how to return to its resting rate. Your body knows how to come back down from activation. You can support this process. You can breathe slowly and deeply, sending signals to your nervous system that you're safe. You can relax your body, releasing tension that reinforces the stress response. You can remind yourself that you're okay, that the racing heart is not dangerous, that it's just your body responding. But even if you do nothing, even if you just wait, your heart will eventually slow. And in the meantime, while your heart is racing, you are enough. You are worthy. You are acceptable exactly as you are. Your mind might be full of worries, thoughts spinning, scenarios playing out, concerns multiplying. What if this happens? What if that goes wrong? What if I can't handle it? What if it's too much? The worry might feel overwhelming, consuming, impossible to turn off. This worry is your mind trying to protect you, trying to anticipate problems, trying to prepare you for potential difficulties. You are enough with this worry. You don't have to have a quiet mind to be worthy. You don't have to stop worrying before you're acceptable. The worry is part of your current experience, part of how your mind is responding to stress and uncertainty, and you are enough with it. You are enough even when your mind won't stop, even when the thoughts keep coming, even when you can't seem to find peace. Worry is often trying to give you a sense of control. If you can think through all the possibilities, if you can anticipate all the problems, if you can plan for all the contingencies, then maybe you'll be prepared, maybe you'll be safe, maybe you'll be able to handle whatever comes. But worry doesn't actually give you control. Worry just keeps your mind busy, keeps your stress response activated, keeps you in a state of tension and anxiety. You can acknowledge the worry without believing it. You can notice the thoughts without following them. You can observe the spinning of your mind without getting caught in it. The worry is there, yes, but you are larger than the worry. You are the one noticing the worry. And that noticing awareness is calm, steady, unchanging, even when what it's noticing is turbulent. You are enough with the worry, and you are also more than the worry. You contain it, but it doesn't define you. You might be tired, deeply, profoundly tired. Tired in your muscles, tired in your bones, tired in a way that sleep doesn't seem to touch. This exhaustion is real. This exhaustion is your body telling you that it's been working hard, that it's depleted, that it needs rest and recovery and replenishment. You are enough with this exhaustion. You don't have to be energetic to be worthy. You don't have to be productive to be valuable. You can be tired, depleted, running on empty, and you are still enough. The exhaustion doesn't diminish your worth. It's simply a signal from your body, information about your current state, a request for what you need. Exhaustion often comes from stress. When you're stressed, your body is constantly activated, constantly working, constantly using resources. Even when you're resting, if your nervous system is still activated, your body is still working. This is exhausting. This depletes you. This uses up energy faster than you can replenish it. The exhaustion is not weakness. The exhaustion is the natural result of sustained stress. You are allowed to be exhausted. You are allowed to need rest. You are allowed to not have energy for things. You are allowed to be too tired to function at your usual level. This is not failure. This is being human. This is having a body that has limits, that needs rest, that can't run indefinitely without replenishment. You are enough in your exhaustion. You are worthy of rest. You are deserving of care and gentleness, and time to recover. With every feeling, every sensation, every experience in your body and mind, with the tension and the racing heart and the worry and the exhaustion, with the stress and the overwhelm and the difficulty and the struggle. With all of it, you don't have to sort through and keep only the acceptable parts. You don't have to hide or deny or suppress anything. You are enough with the full, messy, complicated reality of your current experience. All of it is part of being human. All of it is part of navigating the challenges of existence. All of it is understandable, forgivable, acceptable. You are not too much. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply human, experiencing what humans experience, feeling what humans feel, struggling with what humans struggle with, and being human, with all that entails, is enough. Valid means real, legitimate, worthy of acknowledgement. Your feelings are valid. They are real experiences happening in your body and mind. They are legitimate responses to your circumstances, your history, your nervous system state. They are worthy of being acknowledged, of being felt, of being allowed to exist without judgment or criticism. You don't have to justify your feelings. You don't have to explain why you feel what you feel. You don't have to prove that your feelings are reasonable or appropriate. Feelings are not subject to logic. They don't have to make sense. They don't have to be proportional to the situation. They simply are. They arise based on countless factors, most of which you're not consciously aware of, and they are valid simply because you're experiencing them. Someone else might not feel what you're feeling in the same situation. Someone else might handle the same circumstances without stress or worry or overwhelm. But that doesn't make your feelings less valid. That just means you're different people with different nervous systems, different histories, different sensitivities. Your feelings are valid for you, in your body, with your experience. They don't have to match anyone else's feelings to be real and legitimate. Acceptable means allowed, permitted, not wrong. Every sensation in your body is acceptable. The tension, the racing heart, the tight chest, the churning stomach, the trembling hands, all of it is acceptable. These sensations are not signs that something is wrong with you. They are signs that your body is responding, that your nervous system is activated, that your stress response is engaged. This is what bodies do. This is normal. This is acceptable. You don't have to like the sensations. You don't have to enjoy them or want them, but you can accept them. You can allow them to be present without fighting them, without trying to make them go away immediately, without judging yourself for experiencing them. The sensations are just sensations. They are physical experiences in your body. They are temporary. They will change. And while they're present, they are acceptable. Fighting sensations often makes them worse. When you tense against discomfort, you create more tension. When you panic about your racing heart, you activate your stress response more, which makes your heart race faster. When you judge yourself for trembling, you add emotional distress on top of the physical sensation. But when you accept the sensations, when you allow them to be present without resistance, they often begin to ease. Not because you made them ease, but because you stopped fighting them, stopped adding the extra layer of resistance that was keeping them locked in place. You are carrying a lot, maybe more than anyone else can see, maybe more than you fully realize yourself. You're carrying your current stress, your current challenges, your current responsibilities. You're also carrying your history, your past experiences, your old wounds, your learned patterns. You're carrying your worries about the future, your hopes and fears, your dreams and disappointments. You're carrying all of this, and it's heavy. It's a lot. It's more than anyone should have to carry alone. And you are enough while carrying all of this. You don't have to put it all down before you're worthy. You don't have to resolve everything before you're acceptable. You can be carrying this heavy load, struggling under the weight of it, barely managing to keep going, and you are still enough. The burden doesn't diminish your worth. The struggle doesn't make you less. You are enough, in the midst of carrying all of this, not despite it, not when you finally get to put it down, but now, while you're still carrying it. You are enough, however stressed you might be. Whether your stress is mild or overwhelming, whether it's manageable or consuming, Whether it's occasional or constant, you are enough. The level of your stress doesn't determine your worth. You are enough with a little stress. You are equally enough with a lot of stress. You are enough when stress is just a background hum. You are equally enough when stress is a deafening roar. Always, at any level of stress, you are enough. You are enough however overwhelmed you might be. Whether you're slightly overwhelmed or completely overwhelmed. Whether you're managing to keep going or barely holding on. Whether you're coping or falling apart, you are enough. Overwhelm doesn't make you less. It doesn't reduce your value. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human, with human limits, facing more than your current capacity can easily handle. And being human, with limits, facing difficulty, this is enough. You are enough. This is crucial to understand. Your feelings, whatever they are, do not make you less valuable. Anxiety doesn't make you less worthy. Stress doesn't make you less deserving. Overwhelm doesn't make you less acceptable. Your feelings are temporary states. Your worth is permanent. The temporary states pass through without affecting the permanent worth. Think of it this way. Clouds pass across the sky, but they don't change the sky. The sky remains the sky, whether it's clear or cloudy, whether it's blue or grey, whether it's calm or stormy. The weather changes, but the sky itself is unchanged. Your feelings are like weather, passing through the sky of your awareness. They come and they go. They change and shift, but they don't change the fundamental you, the awareness that experiences them, the essence that remains constant beneath all the changing states. Your worth is like that sky. It's the constant backdrop against which all your feelings play out. The feelings come and go, but your worth remains. Anxiety passes through, but your worth stays. Stress rises and falls, but your worth is unchanged. Overwhelm comes and goes, but your worth is constant. You are always worthy, always valuable, always enough, regardless of what feelings are currently present. Your feelings are not permanent features of who you are. They are temporary experiences. They are part of what's happening right now, in this moment, but they are not fixed or unchanging. They are simply part of your current experience, and your current experience is always changing. Right now, you might feel stressed. In an hour, you might feel calmer. Tomorrow, you might feel overwhelmed. Next week, you might feel more settled. The feelings come and go. They rise and fall. They change with circumstances, with your state, with time. They are not solid or permanent. They are fluid, dynamic, constantly shifting. Understanding this helps you not identify so completely with your feelings. You are not your stress. You are not your anxiety. You are not your overwhelm. You are the one experiencing these states, but you are not the states themselves. There is a you that exists separate from the feelings, that remains constant while the feelings change, that is always there beneath all the shifting emotional weather. Temporary means not permanent, not lasting, not forever. Every feeling you're experiencing right now is temporary. The stress will pass. The anxiety will ease. The overwhelm will subside. Nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. This is one of the most fundamental truths of existence. All states are temporary. All experiences pass. When you're in a difficult state, it's hard to believe it's temporary. It feels permanent. It feels like it will last forever. It feels like you'll always feel this way. But you won't. You never have. Think back to other times you felt stressed or anxious or overwhelmed. Those feelings felt permanent then too. But they passed. They changed. They gave way to other states. The same will be true now. What you're feeling now will pass too. Passing through means moving through, not staying, not settling permanently. Your feelings are passing through you like water flowing through a river. The water comes and the water goes. The river remains, but the water is always different water, always flowing, always moving through. You are like the river. The feelings are like the water. They flow through you, but they don't stay. They move through, and then they're gone, and new feelings come. This is a beautiful metaphor for feelings. Your awareness is like a vast landscape, and feelings are like weather moving across that landscape. Sometimes it's sunny. Sometimes it's rainy. Sometimes it's stormy. Sometimes it's calm. The weather changes constantly, but the landscape remains. The landscape is not damaged by the weather. The landscape is not defined by the weather. The landscape simply experiences the weather as it passes through. You are that landscape. Your awareness, your essential self, is vast and constant. The feelings are weather passing across you. Stress is a storm. Anxiety is clouds. Overwhelm is heavy rain. These weather patterns come and they go. They move through. They don't stay forever, and they don't change the fundamental landscape. You remain you, constant and unchanging, while the weather of your feelings moves through. When you understand yourself as the landscape rather than the weather, everything changes. You stop identifying so completely with your feelings. You stop believing that a storm means something is fundamentally wrong. You recognize that storms are just weather, temporary conditions, part of the natural cycle of existence. You can experience the storm without being overwhelmed by it, because you know you are larger than the storm. You are the landscape that contains the storm, and the storm will pass. This is a blessing. This is a wish. This is a hope for your well-being. After everything we've explored tonight, after acknowledging all that you're carrying, after recognizing that you are enough exactly as you are, the hope is simple and profound, that you sleep well. Sleep is when healing happens. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, when your nervous system resets, when your mind processes and integrates. Sleep is essential for recovery from stress. Sleep is how you replenish the resources that stress depletes. Sleep is one of the most important things you can do for yourself, especially when you're stressed, especially when you're overwhelmed, especially when you're exhausted. A blessing is a gift of words, a hope spoken into being, an intention for goodness. This blessing is for you. It's a wish that you find rest, that your body relaxes, that your mind quiets, that you experience the deep restoration that comes from genuine rest. It's a hope that you feel safe enough to let go, comfortable enough to surrender, held enough to release control, and simply rest. Rest is not just the absence of activity. Rest is active healing. Rest is when your body does its most important work. Rest is when stress hormones are metabolized and cleared. Rest is when muscles release their chronic tension. Rest is when the nervous system can finally shift from activation to recovery. Rest is when you heal, and you deserve this. You are worthy of this. You need this. Tonight we've traveled together through the landscape of stress. We've learned that stress is not designed to hurt you, that it's an ancient protective system. We've discovered that your body knows how to turn off stress, that stress hormones have a half-life, that your breath is a remote control for your nervous system. We've understood that stress is temporary by design, that it's information rather than command, that it affects everyone differently. We've explored how your body is always trying to return to balance, how stress can make you stronger but only with rest, how your body stores and releases stress naturally. We've learned that stress cannot exist in a truly relaxed body, that you are not your stress, that your nervous system remembers safety. We've understood that this moment is the only moment you have to handle, that your body wants to heal, that rest is not earned but required. Your body is wise. Your body is resilient. Your body knows what it needs. Your body knows how to heal. Your body knows how to return to balance. Your body is always working toward your well-being, always trying to protect you, always trying to keep you safe and healthy and alive. This wisdom is built into every cell. This resilience is part of your biology. You can trust your body. You can trust its processes. You can trust that it knows what it's doing. Simple but profound. That you sleep well. That sleep comes easily. That it stays peacefully. That it's deep and restorative. That you wake feeling more rested, more restored, more ready to meet another day. This is the hope. This is the wish. This is the blessing. Deep rest is different from light rest. Deep rest is when your body fully relaxes, when your nervous system completely shifts into its parasympathetic state, when all your systems can focus on healing and restoration, rather than on managing stress or staying alert. Deep rest is when the most profound healing happens. Deep rest is what your body needs most, especially after stress, especially when you're depleted, especially when you've been running on empty. Your nervous system has been working hard. It's been activated, managing stress, keeping you alert, preparing you for challenges. It deserves to rest. It needs to rest. When your nervous system fully relaxes, when it shifts completely out of its stress response and into its relaxation response, everything in your body benefits. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing deepens. Your muscles release. Your digestion improves. Your immune system strengthens. Everything works better when your nervous system is relaxed. Day doesn't suddenly become night. There's a gradual transition. Dusk, twilight, the slow fading of light, the gentle darkening of the sky. Day drifts into night so gradually that you can't point to the exact moment of change. It simply happens, naturally, inevitably, following the rhythm of Earth's rotation. Sleep can come like this, not forced, not sudden, not a switch you flip, but a gradual drifting, a slow fading of consciousness, a gentle letting go. You don't have to make yourself sleep. You only have to allow it, to not resist it, to let yourself drift like day drifting into night, following the natural rhythm of your body, trusting the process that happens every night. Stress doesn't last forever. Stress always gives way to calm eventually. This is built into the system. The stress response is designed to be temporary, to activate and then deactivate, to spike and then subside. Calm is the natural state your body returns to when stress passes. You don't have to force the calm. You only have to allow the stress to complete its cycle, to run its course, to naturally give way to the calm that always follows. Easily means without struggle, without effort, without the frustration of lying awake trying to force sleep to come. May sleep come to you naturally, gently, as a gift, rather than something you have to work for. May you not have to fight for sleep. May it simply arrive, welcoming you, inviting you, carrying you into rest. Peacefully means without disturbance, without interruption, without the restlessness that sometimes fragments sleep. May you sleep through the night. May you not wake repeatedly. May your sleep be smooth and continuous, allowing your body the sustained rest it needs for deep healing and restoration. This is what sleep does. This is why sleep matters. Sleep is when healing happens. Sleep is when your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, strengthens your immune system. Sleep is when your brain processes the day's experiences, consolidates memories, clears metabolic waste. Sleep is when emotional experiences are integrated, when stress is processed, when your nervous system resets. Sleep is essential. Sleep is healing. Sleep is how you return to balance. Dreams are mysterious. They're your unconscious mind, processing, creating, exploring. Sometimes dreams are disturbing, bringing up fears or difficult emotions. But tonight, the wish is for soft dreams, gentle dreams, dreams that don't disturb but soothe, that don't agitate but calm, that don't stress but restore. Gentle means soft, kind, not harsh or disturbing. May your dreams treat you gently tonight. May they not bring up your deepest fears or your worst memories. May they not force you to confront more than you can handle. May they be kind to you, offering you images and experiences that soothe rather than stress, that comfort rather than challenge. Peaceful means calm, tranquil, without conflict or distress. Kind means caring, compassionate, benevolent. May your dreams be both. May they offer you scenes of peace, of safety, of beauty. May they be kind in their content, in their emotional tone, in their effect on you. May you wake from them feeling rested rather than disturbed, calm rather than agitated, restored rather than depleted. Your waking hours have enough stress. Your conscious mind carries enough worry. Your days hold enough fear. Your dreams don't need to add to this. May your dreams be a respite, a break, a relief from the stress and worry and fear of waking life. May they offer you something different, something lighter, something that doesn't add to your burden but helps you rest. Calm places are locations that feel peaceful, that don't activate your stress response, that allow you to relax. A quiet beach, a peaceful forest, a comfortable room, a beautiful garden. May your dreams take you to places like these, places where you feel calm, where your nervous system can rest, where you feel at ease. Safe spaces are locations where you feel protected, where nothing can harm you, where you can let your guard down completely. May your dreams offer you these spaces. May you dream of being somewhere completely safe, somewhere you don't have to be alert or vigilant or prepared. May you experience, even in dreams, the feeling of complete safety, of being fully protected, of being able to rest without worry. May your dreams show you what you need. May they show you your body relaxing, muscles softening, tension releasing. May you dream of the stress leaving your body, dissolving, evaporating, disappearing like mist when the sun rises. May your dreams give you the experience of release, of letting go, of returning to ease. And may this dream experience support your actual physical release. May your body respond to the dream by actually relaxing, actually releasing, actually letting go. Tonight we've explored important truths: that you are safe, that stress is temporary, that your body knows how to heal. May these truths appear in your dreams. May your unconscious mind integrate them, accept them, believe them. May you dream in ways that reinforce these truths, that make them feel real and true and reliable. This is the fundamental truth. You are safe. Right now, in this moment, you are safe. Your body is supported. You are lying down or sitting comfortably. There is no immediate danger. There is nothing you need to run from or fight against. You are safe. May you dream this. May you feel this in your dreams. May your sleeping mind experience safety. May your nervous system integrate this feeling of safety. May you wake, knowing, deep in your body, that you are safe. Stress doesn't last forever. Every stress response eventually subsides. Every period of overwhelm eventually passes. This is not hope or wishful thinking. This is biological fact. Stress is designed to be temporary. May you dream this truth. May your dreams show you stress passing, changing, giving way to calm. May you wake with a deeper knowing that what you're experiencing now will not last forever, that it will change, that calm will return. Your body has wisdom built into it. It knows how to return to balance. It knows how to process stress. It knows how to heal. You don't have to make this happen. You only have to allow it. May you dream this truth. May your dreams show you your body's wisdom, its capacity to heal, its natural movement toward balance. May you wake trusting your body more, trusting its processes, trusting that it knows what it's doing. Sometimes the best sleep is dreamless. Sometimes what you need most is not dreams, not processing, not imagery, but simply the blank, deep rest of sleep without dreams. May you have this, if this is what you need. May you sink into such deep sleep that no dreams arise, that there is only rest, only restoration, only the profound healing that happens in the deepest stages of sleep. These are simple words, but they carry so much. Good night. Sleep well. Rest deeply. Be at peace. You've done enough for today. You've carried enough. You've tried enough. Now you can rest. Now you can let go. Now you can trust that you are safe, that you are held, that you are enough exactly as you are. Let your body sink into complete relaxation. Let every muscle soften. Let every bit of tension release. Let yourself rest, not just lightly, not just on the surface, but deeply, profoundly, completely. Let yourself rest all the way down to your bones, all the way into your cells, all the way through your entire being. Rest deeply. This is what you need. This is what you deserve. This is what your body is asking for. If dreams come, may they be soft, may they be gentle, may they be kind. May they not disturb your rest but deepen it. May they not add to your stress but relieve it. May they offer you peace, safety, beauty, calm. Dream softly. Let your unconscious mind be gentle with you tonight. Let go of everything you've been holding. Let go of the day. Let go of your worries. Let go of your responsibilities. Let go of your stress. Let go of your tension. Let go of trying to control anything or manage anything or figure anything out. Just let go. Completely. Totally. Entirely. Release everything and trust that it will all still be there if it needs to be. But right now, for these hours of rest, you can let it all go. This is the foundation. This is what allows everything else. You are safe. Right now, in this moment, you are safe. There is no danger. There is no threat. You can relax. You can rest. You can let your guard down. You are safe. Your body can feel this. Your nervous system can register this. You are safe. You are not alone. You are not unsupported. You are held by the surface beneath you. You are held by gravity. You are held by the air around you. You are held by the vast web of existence, by the patterns and rhythms that have been operating for billions of years. You are held by forces so much larger than yourself, forces so reliable that you can completely trust them. You don't have to hold yourself together. You are already held. This is the truth we keep returning to because it's so important and so easily forgotten. You are enough, exactly as you are, right now, in this moment, with all that you're feeling, with all that you're experiencing, with wherever you are in your journey. You are enough. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. This is not something you earn or achieve or deserve. This is what you are. You are enough. Even as you rest, even as you sleep, even as you let go of consciousness, the earth keeps turning. Its rotation is steady, reliable, constant. It has been turning for billions of years. It will continue turning for billions more. This turning brings day and night, light and dark, the rhythm that governs all life. You are carried by this turning. You are held by this motion. You are part of this ancient rotation. You don't have to make it happen. It simply continues, reliably, endlessly. Even while you sleep, your body is working. It's healing. It's repairing. It's restoring. It's processing stress. It's clearing toxins. It's balancing hormones. It's strengthening your immune system. It's consolidating memories. It's integrating experiences. Your body knows what to do. It doesn't need your conscious direction. It simply heals, naturally, automatically, constantly working toward your well-being. Your nervous system is always trying to return to balance, always trying to shift from stress to calm, always working to bring you back to your natural state of ease. This is happening right now. Even as you rest, your nervous system is working. It's metabolizing stress hormones. It's shifting from sympathetic to parasympathetic activation. It's moving you toward balance. You don't have to make this happen. It's happening on its own. You can rest. You can finally, completely rest. You can trust that the earth will keep turning. You can trust that your body will keep healing. You can trust that your nervous system will keep working toward balance. You can trust all of this because it's not dependent on you. It's not something you have to manage or control. It simply happens. And you can rest, held by all of it, trusting all of it, part of all of it. This is certain. This is guaranteed. The stress you're feeling now will pass. It will not last forever. It will change. It will ease. It will give way to calm. This is how stress works. This is the nature of stress. It rises and it falls. It comes and it goes. The stress will pass. You don't have to make it pass. You only have to wait, to rest, to trust that it will pass in its own time. Calm is your natural state. Calm is where your body wants to be. Calm is what your nervous system is always working toward. The calm will return, not might return, will return. This is certain. This is reliable. The calm always returns after stress. Always. The calm will return to you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to make it happen. You only have to allow it, to trust it, to know that it's coming. Change is the only constant in existence. From the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, everything is in motion. Everything is shifting. Everything is transforming. The cells in your body are constantly dying and being replaced. The thoughts in your mind are constantly arising and dissolving. The emotions in your heart are constantly flowing and changing. Nothing remains fixed. Nothing stays frozen in time. Everything changes. This can feel frightening when you're in a difficult state. When you're stressed or overwhelmed or in pain, you might desperately want things to stay the same once they finally improve. You might fear that good feelings won't last, that peace is temporary, that calm will inevitably give way to stress again. And it's true that good feelings don't last forever in their exact form. But neither do difficult feelings. Nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. The stress you're feeling right now is changing, even as you experience it. It's not the same stress you felt an hour ago, even if it's about the same situation. The intensity shifts. The quality shifts. The thoughts that accompany it shift. Stress is not a static state. It's a dynamic process, constantly moving, constantly changing, even when it feels stuck or permanent. Understanding that everything changes can bring relief. When you're in a difficult state, when you're stressed or anxious or overwhelmed, you can remember, this is changing. Right now, even as I experience this, it's already changing. It's not permanent. It's not fixed. It's in motion. And that motion will eventually carry it away from this intensity, away from this difficulty, towards something different. The stress changes. The calm changes. Everything is always in motion, always shifting, always transforming. Stress doesn't stay at the same level. It rises and falls, intensifies and eases, comes in waves rather than staying constant. Even when you're in a period of chronic stress, the stress itself is not constant. There are moments when it's more intense, and moments when it's less intense. There are times when it's at the forefront of your awareness, and times when it recedes into the background. The stress is always in motion, always changing. Calm changes too. When you finally feel calm, when the stress has eased and you're at peace, that calm is also changing. It might deepen. It might give way to contentment or joy. It might eventually give way to new challenges that bring new stress. Calm is not a destination you reach and stay at forever. Calm is a state you pass through, just like stress is a state you pass through. Both are temporary. Both are in motion. This motion is not random. It follows patterns. Stress tends to rise when you're facing challenges, when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you're not getting your needs met. Stress tends to fall when the challenges ease, when you rest, when you receive support, when your needs are met. Understanding these patterns helps you work with the motion rather than against it. You can't stop the motion, but you can influence its direction. Everything is always in motion, because motion is the nature of life. Life is not static. Life is process, flow, constant becoming. You are not a fixed thing. You are a process, a flow of energy and matter and experience, constantly changing, constantly becoming something slightly different than you were a moment ago. This is not something to fear. This is the nature of being alive. Always shifting means that nothing is permanent, nothing is unchangeable, nothing is set in stone. The state you're in right now will shift. The feelings you're experiencing will shift. The circumstances you're facing will shift. Everything shifts, everything moves, everything changes. This is the fundamental nature of reality, and understanding this helps you hold your experiences more lightly, knowing that they're temporary, knowing that they're already shifting even as you experience them. Always transforming means that change is not just superficial. Things don't just move around while staying fundamentally the same. Things actually transform. They become something different. Stress transforms into calm. Overwhelm transforms into ease. Difficulty transforms into growth. You transform through your experiences. You're not the same person you were a year ago, a month ago, even a day ago. You're constantly transforming, constantly becoming, constantly evolving into something new. And within this constant change, there is a pattern. Everything returns to balance. Balance is the attractor point. It's the state that living systems naturally move toward. When you're pushed away from balance, when stress activates you, or exhaustion depletes you, or overwhelm pushes you past your capacity, your system immediately begins working to return to balance. This is not something you have to make happen. This is automatic, built into the nature of living systems. Think of a pendulum. When you pull a pendulum to one side and release it, it swings back. It doesn't stay pulled to the side. It returns toward center. It might swing past center to the other side, but it keeps moving back toward center, and eventually, with enough time, it settles at center. It returns to balance. Your body and mind work the same way. When you're pushed away from balance, you naturally swing back toward it. This return to balance is called homeostasis. It's the tendency of living systems to maintain stable internal conditions despite external changes. Your body temperature stays relatively constant, even when the outside temperature changes dramatically. Your blood sugar stays within a certain range, even when you eat or don't eat. Your stress response activates and then deactivates, returning you to baseline. All of this is homeostasis, the constant work of your body to maintain balance. Everything returns to balance, but the timeline varies. Sometimes the return is quick. A brief stress response activates and then deactivates within minutes. Sometimes the return is slow. Chronic stress takes time to process and release, but the direction is always the same, always toward balance, always toward homeostasis, always toward the natural state of equilibrium that your body is designed to maintain. Your body knows its balanced state. It knows what your heart rate should be at rest. It knows what your breathing rate should be when you're calm. It knows what your muscle tension should be when you're relaxed. It knows what your hormone levels should be when you're not stressed. And it's constantly working to return to these set points, to bring you back to balance. When stress activates your body, your heart rate increases, your breathing quickens, your muscles tense, your stress hormones rise. All of this is movement away from balance, necessary movement to help you cope with challenge or threat. But as soon as the challenge passes, as soon as your body perceives that it's safe again, it begins the return journey. Heart rate decreases, breathing slows, muscles relax. Stress hormones are metabolized and cleared. Your body returns to balance. This return happens automatically. You don't have to consciously direct it. You don't have to tell your heart to slow down, or your muscles to relax, or your stress hormones to decrease. Your body knows what to do. It has systems specifically designed for this return to balance. The parasympathetic nervous system activates. The relaxation response engages. All the changes that stress created begin to reverse. Your body returns to balance. Sometimes this return is quick and complete. You experience a brief stress, and within minutes or hours, you're completely back to baseline. Sometimes the return is slower and more gradual. Chronic stress takes time to fully release. Your body might return partway to balance, but not all the way, maintaining a slightly elevated baseline until the chronic stressor is resolved, or until you get enough rest and recovery to complete the return. But the direction is always toward balance. Your body is always working to bring you back. Your nervous system has two main branches: the sympathetic nervous system, which activates your stress response, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which activates your relaxation response. These two systems work in balance, like a seesaw. When one is up, the other is down. When sympathetic activation is high, parasympathetic activation is low. When parasympathetic activation is high, sympathetic activation is low. Stress tips the seesaw towards sympathetic activation. Your sympathetic nervous system engages, preparing you for action, for fight or flight, for coping with challenge. This is necessary and appropriate when you're facing something difficult. But this state is not meant to be permanent. It's meant to be temporary, a brief activation followed by a return to balance. The return to balance happens when your parasympathetic nervous system engages. This system is sometimes called the rest and digest system because it promotes relaxation, digestion, healing, and recovery. When your parasympathetic system activates, it tips the seesaw back toward balance, bringing down the sympathetic activation, calming your stress response, returning you to a state of ease. Your nervous system wants to return to balance. It's not designed to stay in constant sympathetic activation. Chronic stress, chronic sympathetic activation, is hard on your system. It depletes resources. It creates wear and tear. Your nervous system is constantly trying to shift back to parasympathetic dominance, back to the state where healing and recovery can happen, back to balance. You can support this return to balance. You can activate your parasympathetic nervous system through slow breathing, through gentle movement, through rest, through time in nature, through connection with safe people. These activities send signals to your nervous system that it's safe to relax, that it's okay to shift from stress to calm, that balance can be restored. Your nervous system responds to these signals, and the return to balance happens more easily, more completely. Emotions are like waves. They rise, they peak, they fall. No emotion stays at peak intensity forever. Sadness doesn't stay overwhelming forever. Anxiety doesn't stay crushing forever. Even joy doesn't stay ecstatic forever. Every emotion rises and then naturally subsides, returning toward a baseline, returning toward balance. This baseline is not the absence of emotion. It's a state of emotional equilibrium, where you're not overwhelmed by any particular feeling, where you can experience emotions without being consumed by them, where you have access to the full range of feelings without being stuck in any single one. This is emotional balance, and it's the state your emotional system naturally moves toward. When you experience intense emotion, whether it's stress or anxiety or overwhelm or any other feeling, that intensity is temporary. The emotion will peak and then begin to subside. This is not something you have to force. This is the natural arc of emotion. Emotions are designed to be temporary, to rise and fall, to move through you, rather than staying stuck. Sometimes emotions seem to last a long time. You might feel stressed for days or weeks or months. But if you pay close attention, you'll notice that even chronic emotions fluctuate. The stress is not constant. It's more intense at some times and less intense at others. It comes in waves, and between the waves, there are moments of relative calm, moments when the emotion subsides slightly, moments of return toward balance. Your emotions return to balance when you allow them to move. When you feel your feelings without suppressing them or getting stuck in them. When you let them rise and peak and fall naturally, they complete their cycle and return toward balance. But when you suppress emotions or ruminate on them, you interfere with this natural process. Suppression keeps the emotion stuck, unprocessed, unable to complete its cycle. Rumination keeps retriggering the emotion, creating new waves before the previous ones have subsided. Both prevent the natural return to balance. Living systems are self-regulating. They have built-in mechanisms for maintaining balance, for correcting deviations, for returning to set points. This is true at every level, from individual cells to whole organisms to ecosystems. Balance is not something imposed from outside. Balance is something that emerges from within, from the inherent properties of living systems. Your body is a living system. It's self-regulating. It has countless feedback loops, constantly monitoring conditions and making adjustments to maintain balance. When your blood sugar rises, your pancreas releases insulin to bring it back down. When your body temperature rises, you sweat to cool down. When your stress response activates, your relaxation response is already preparing to engage. All of this is automatic, built in, part of the fundamental design of living systems. This means you can trust your body. You can trust that it's working toward balance, that it knows what it's doing, that it has wisdom built into it that's older and deeper than your conscious understanding. You don't have to micromanage your body's return to balance. You don't have to consciously direct every process. Your body knows. It's been doing this since before you were born. It will continue doing this as long as you're alive. Seeking balance is a constant, active process. Your body doesn't achieve balance and then stop. Your body is always seeking balance, always making adjustments, always working to maintain equilibrium in the face of constant changes. External conditions change, internal states change, challenges arise, stressors appear, and through all of this, your body keeps seeking balance, keeps making adjustments, keeps working to maintain stability. This seeking is not effortful in the way we usually think of effort. It's not something you have to try to do. It's automatic, unconscious, constant. Your body seeks balance the way a plant seeks light, naturally, inevitably, without conscious thought or decision. It's built into the system. It's part of what it means to be alive. Always being sought means this process never stops. Even when you're far from balance, even when you're highly stressed or deeply exhausted or completely overwhelmed, your body is still seeking balance. It hasn't given up. It hasn't stopped trying. It's still working, still adjusting, still moving in the direction of balance, even if it hasn't reached balance yet. The seeking continues, always, as long as you're alive. Movement toward balance is constant. You might not always feel it. You might not always notice it, but it's happening. Every moment, your body is making tiny adjustments, tiny movements toward balance. Your heart rate adjusts, your breathing adjusts, your muscle tension adjusts, your hormone levels adjust. All of these adjustments are movements toward balance, small steps in the direction of equilibrium. Sometimes the movement is slow. When you're dealing with chronic stress or deep exhaustion, the movement toward balance might be so gradual that you can't perceive it day to day. But it's still happening. You're still moving, still adjusting, still heading in the direction of balance even if you haven't arrived yet. The movement continues, even when you can't feel it. Sometimes the movement is fast. After acute stress, once the stressor is removed, your body can return to balance relatively quickly. The stress hormones metabolize. The heart rate comes down. The breathing slows. The muscles relax. Within minutes or hours, you're back to baseline. The movement toward balance can be rapid when conditions are right, when the stress is brief and your resources are adequate. Always being moved toward means you don't have to create this movement. You don't have to push yourself toward balance. The movement is already happening. You're already being moved. Your body is already doing the work. Your job is not to create the movement. Your job is to allow it, to not interfere with it, to provide the conditions that let it happen as smoothly and completely as possible. Always being restored. Restoration is the outcome of the return to balance. When balance is restored, you feel better. You feel calmer, more relaxed, more at ease. Your body feels less tense. Your mind feels clearer. Your emotions feel more stable. This restoration is what happens when the movement toward balance is complete, when you've returned to your natural state of equilibrium. Always being restored means this restoration is not a one-time event. It's a constant, ongoing process. You move away from balance, and you're restored. You move away again, and you're restored again. This cycle continues throughout your life. You're constantly being restored, constantly being brought back to balance, constantly being returned to your natural state. This restoration happens naturally when you provide the right conditions. Rest restores you, sleep restores you, nourishment restores you, connection restores you, safety restores you. When these conditions are present, Restoration happens automatically. Your body does the work. Your nervous system does the work. Your emotional system does the work. You're restored not through effort but through allowing, through providing what's needed and then letting your body do what it knows how to do. You are safe. Safe in this moment. Right now, in this exact moment, check in with your immediate reality. Are you in physical danger right now? Is there a threat to your life or safety in this present moment? For most people, most of the time, the answer is no. Right now, in this moment, you are safe. Your body is supported. You are breathing. You are alive. There is no immediate danger. This moment, right now, is safe. These are the last words. Good night. Sleep well. Rest deeply. You are safe. You are held. You are healing. You are enough. Everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. The stress will pass. The calm will return. Balance is being restored. You can rest now. You can let go. You can trust. Good night. Good night. Good night.